good and better, and just forget about perfect. We've all heard stories about people who seem to change their life overnight or over 6 months or a year when it comes to their health and an exercise routine and that kind of thing. The problem I have with these stories, as someone who trains people, aside from the fact that they emphasize this kind of rags to riches approach in fitness, which is like, you can only get into the really good shape if you start from a place that's just, you've seen the other side of it. And that's not really true. You really can just start at a kind of an average place or a normal place or a kind of healthy but not really place and get better from there. You don't have to be perfect. And you definitely don't have to be perfect today. But I don't think you have to be perfect in general because I don't think perfect exists. I have been training people for a while now. I have been training myself. I have a degree in physical therapy, and if there's one thing that is clear to me is that there is no one perfect way to manage the human body. There are certain things we know that work. Strength training works, cardio works, eating fruits and vegetables works. Eating unprocessed stuff is better than eating processed stuff most of the time. No one has figured out one routine which will get any person who tries it into shape. No one has figured out one diet which will give everybody perfect energy and let them sleep well. But the thing that I really want people to take away from this is just that there is no perfect, and that means you should be focusing on good and better. It's very tempting when you have a problem to try to find from the get-go a perfect solution, something that really eliminates the issue completely. I think that there is a place for that, and I think that sometimes people do that well. But if you take too many steps at once, you can't see which step really helped and which step didn't. And if you have too many things that you've just tried doing, you're eventually going to run out of energy to do all of those things for most people. There are exceptional people out there who have extremely high levels of discipline and can just, you can put them on any routine and they'll just suffer through it, basically. But it's not most people. And if we are interested in the fitness industry and if we're interested with exercise and diet and all these other things in helping people and helping most people, we need to understand what works. And the thing is, there isn't something that works for everyone, as far as I can tell. And so I think it's important that you look at good and better and you sort of take a gradual approach to finding what's best for you. This doesn't mean that you should ignore science, and it doesn't mean that you should ignore things that have been verified to have a positive impact in a particular direction for something. You know, it doesn't mean that you should ignore any and all advice that you get from anyone. It does mean that you really do have to take a measured approach if you want to find out what actually works for you. If you want to just keep trying different models out, you're not going to be able to parse out very easily what aspect of that model really worked, if it did at all, if it had a positive impact. So good and better, and just forget about perfect.